Welcome, Joy News. How have you been coping in this era of coronavirus?
Well, to be honest with you, we've coped quite well. I mean, as a firm, I will assume your question is as a firm, DataBank has coped quite well. We had already started planning for our own partial lockdown even before the president issued the lockdown communique in March. So by 30th March, we were ready. So we were not taken off guard, and we were able to operate 100% from home, serving our clients with every type of transaction. So we were very, very ready. And we even locked down for a whole month. So for the whole of April, we worked from home. But when we reopened, there was quite a huge crowd, I would say, here in the first few days, because you could tell that a lot of people were just waiting to still physically have their transaction. Even though they can do everything remotely, they don't need to come. But we've coped. We've had to change the way we work. You can see we now have canopies outside there. We are social distancing. We are getting the masking, sanitizing. But it's okay. We've learned to live with it.
I was one of those people who came here and realized that you were not working.
Oh, I see. But we sent out, I don't know, people said they didn't get the notices, but
Yeah,
we sent out SMS alerts, we sent out emails, we had LPMs everywhere. But anyway, I guess you can't reach everybody. We have over 300,000 clients, so yeah.
Okay. So DataBank, your businesses, how has it impacted the business of DataBank?
You know, the numbers suggest that it looks like business as usual. I mean, the withdrawals went up a bit, understandably. You know, people needed money, emergencies here and there. So the withdrawals went up, spiked up a bit. But it's back to normal. Deposits are normal. It's strange, but the numbers are suggesting that it's not too bad. Some of the products are really have been hit hard, but generally, I think it could have been worse. I anticipated worse, so maybe that is why I am not so down. I really anticipated worse, but it's been good. And I think because we were communicating with our clients so much, and I was even communicating from home, doing short videos to tell people that they could really still transact normally and there was no need to panic. You know, our mobile apps were working well. Everything went well. So I would thank God, honestly. I would really thank God that our business hasn't been so negatively impacted.
Did this scare you and your employees? Because what upon we're hearing about conversation about how some businesses are struggling to survive. Did this scare you?
Initially, yes, I was nervous. I will not lie about that. I was very nervous initially, though we had prepared. You know, in this boardroom, we had been preparing. In fact, we've been preparing our digital agenda for 3 years now. So we were really prepared, and it just came, you know, we got ready just at the right time. But initially, I was nervous. I wasn't sure how our customers will react. I wasn't sure even how our staff will react. I wasn't sure how the technology was going to really work, even though we had been testing. But testing is different from the real life situation. You get what I mean? But it turned out well. So I was initially nervous, but now, no, I'm okay.
Do you think this has impacted heavily on the Ghanaian economy, and at what percentage do you think the impact?
Oh, no doubt about that. It has impacted heavily on the economy. You know, the original projection for GDP growth was 7%, 6 to 7%. Now it's been revised down to 1%, 1 or 1.5%. So there's no doubt. Look, the economy, part of the economy is heavily driven by the hospitality industry and sports, and I know we'll come there. But look at the hospitality industry. It's totally crashed. Hotels are gone, restaurants are gone, airlines are gone, transportation is now slowly picking up again. The impact on the economy is huge. It's really, really huge. And you know, there's this debate about, are we saving lives or should we save livelihoods? It's a huge debate, and that is what is making Europe forcing to ease up. We've got to learn how to live with the virus and keep livelihoods going. Because really, also, I mean, the lives need to live. if there's no economy running, how do you stay alive and still live? It's a very dicey decision point to make. But the negative impact of the economy, huge.
What were the targets of Data Bank for the year?
Oh, I mean, I don't have all the numbers on top of my head, but I don't think we will hit our original target. We will look at the numbers again after June, and if we need to revise the targets, we will revise the targets. But I'm telling, like I told you, it's strange, but we are not that far off our original target. We will not hit it. That one, I know we will not hit the original, which was ambitious. But it's not too far off. You know, the numbers are telling us it's not too far off, which means that our clients have responded to the measures we have put in place for them and the transparency we always show. And I really use this opportunity to thank our clients and our potential clients who will come.
Can you approximate the target before I speak to the sports?
As far as before,
approximate. Maybe or percentage. Just approximate.
You know, you have to spare me on that one. Spare me on that one. But I think we will hit at least 80% of the target. I think so. We will hit 80% of our target.
That's really a good one. But now let's switch the conversation to the sport bit. You were talking about how the economy have been hit negatively and all that. What sort of impact do you think this COVID situation has had on sport in terms of its economy?
Oh, for sports economically, I mean, I can't even describe it the way I really want to. Look, let's take it this way. Let's go to football, and let's take one football team. Okay, just one football team. It employs 30 players. That's about the average. Yes. 30 players. That football team employs a coach, employs about, let's say, 6 technical people. That football team has a laundry. That football team has people who cook for them. I mean, that football team will buy balls, will buy boots, will buy hose, will buy all sorts of equipment. So look at the multiplier. I'm taking one football team. That is about for 50 people connected economically to one football team. 50 people. Multiply that 50 by the 16 clubs. Now 18 even. At the Premiership level only. And the rippling effect that is having. Sport is one of the largest employers in the world. Sports. And football is even worse. The largest employers. Because even today on BBC, when there's a 30 minutes news, you guys are doing well. There's no sports segment anymore. Have you noticed? If there's any sports news, it's just 1 or 2 sentences that the news anchor, him or herself, would say. So where is that person? Has he been laid off? Or is he just at home without any salary? So the enormity of sport not happening cannot even, it can't be, right now, I can't even quantify it. And that one player, let me continue the rippling. If that one player is the sole breadwinner of their house, of the household in which he is, that's another bigger problem right there. So I'm not even connecting it to, say, one player having even 2 dependents. Let's say 2 dependents. And it doesn't have to be wife, children, or just dependents. Having come to the Division 1, where maybe even the salaries are not too much, but somebody has an occupation. There's a groundsman, you know, they will have to, you can't even begin to think about it. So the negative impact of sports, of COVID on sport, is big. And I feel it's probably even as big as the hospitality and airline industry.
So, what are some of the implications in terms of sports funding going forward?
Are you saying for the support?
Yes.
I think the stimulus kind of thing.
Yes.
I think it is important. And I had made an argument somewhere else that the FA have to attempt to get some stimulus package for the clubs. But that is where I also pointed out that it is showing the FA and everybody else why transparency and accountability is so crucial. Because you can't just go and ask for a stimulus package when you don't have a good track record of being transparent and accountable. Fortunately or unfortunately, for this particular FA, they've been in office for literally 5 months only. So they have the advantage maybe of getting the benefit of the doubt. But if it had been the previous FA with all the hula baloo that was around, I think it would have been very difficult. Because of the deep perception there was of a lack of transparency and accountability. But you have to go with proper books, and a proper plan, and demonstrate exactly what you would use the money for and how it will help, while football is still not happening and sport is still not happening. But I agree that they have to go in for some package one way or the other, and not only to the government, but to CAF and to FIFA as well. Because I think CAF and FIFA are all thinking about this and the impact it has. And football is a grassroots game. And the most vulnerable people are in the grassroots. So if something is not done to figure out how we can bring this game back and get people involved and get monies flowing through again, I think it's going to be a big problem for us. We have to bring sports back.
When you were speaking earlier, you touched on something very interesting about football clubs that have connectivity with so many people.
Yes.
Just take one club.
Yes.
About 30 players,
Yes.
10 captains, and
Yes.
all that. So, if you look at all these, just football alone, that's its impact. But overall, we seem to lack the data that will back our quest to ask government or any corporate institution that these are the number of people we have,
Yes.
and this is our contribution to the economy. If you are to look at that, what would you say the contribution of sport or football is to the Ghanaian economy?
To the Ghanaian, you are very right about the data issue, and I recall indicating to the FA that this is the best time for them to start documenting the data that is available. You see, the thing is that the data is available, but it's all over the place, and it's not in an organized manner. So it is time for us to actually sit down and calculate. I don't think I can, even me, give a figure that says football contributed X amount of money directly to the economy. I don't think so. But anecdotally, we can figure out about how much it is contributing to the economy if you can average, you can average salaries, you can average the taxes that come out of the salaries, you can average attendance, stadium attendance, and how much money is flowing through that, and do extrapolate it, and then see what at the end of one season the contribution it will make. But if you look at England as an example, the NHS is heavily funded out of taxes from the players. Yes. So when the discussion about players taking pay cuts was coming up, there was protest from the NHS that, look, this is the time we even need the money most to treat these COVID cases. So why are you going to tell them to take salary cuts? So I don't think it quite happened, especially at the Premiership level. I don't think the salary cuts quite happened. So I can't give you for Ghana, I must say that I can't give you exactly how much sports or football specifically will contribute. But on top of my head and anecdotally, I won't be surprised if it hovers around 5%. It's possible that it will be at least 5% of the economy or bigger if you do the interconnectedness and you don't isolate, football on its own. It will even be much, much bigger. But our economy is in billions, don't forget. Yes. And so a 5% figure there is quite a significant amount.
What are the implications in terms of social development?
Football has its social factor.
Yes.
It brings people together. It is the single point where you will see people of the opposite political divide, as an example, embracing each other and jumping together. The next moment when they go into a political studio, they will be at war. But it brings people together. It takes people away from crime. It keeps people healthy. Sports is the core of many a nation. And one of the reasons England is trying to bring football back, and Germany also used the same argument, was that the morale of the country was dropping. Because people are not able every week to go to various games, be it football, be it cricket, be it basketball, whatever it is, tennis, to ease their stress and pressure. And they are locked up in the house